Yeah, hello and welcome again, a special at our channel. And Gopal is back. Gopal is back with a new interesting stuff he will show us today. So, for any case someone does not know about Lumel and InfoRiver, you can just short introduce yourself, but then we should really look into the solution.
I'm going to share my screen.
Yes,
Just
Lumel is not only creating polo shirts.
uh,
Even if
you
it
know,
looks very professional. Okay,
hopefully, yeah,
here
you
you go.
call.
Yeah.
Okay, are you able to see it in full screen?
Yes. Now, yes. Fantastic.
Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and Arthur and Michael, Lumel's partner. But thanks for having us here.
Yeah.
For
Always.
those, yeah, for those uh, that don't know us. Uh, Lumel is actually the largest partner of Microsoft Power BI and Fabric. So Lumel has over 3,000 customers we acquired through the Power BI visual market. We have had number of Power BI visuals over the last 7 years. The reporting matrix was heavily being used for the reporting use cases. We have our Analytics Plus for the visualization use cases, which is IBCS certified. Uh, we then entered the market with the Writeback matrix for the Writeback use cases, and we came to market with a very innovative self-service approach to enterprise planning right on top of your semantic model, and it really became a huge hit. And that's one of the reasons we actually been winning awards on the planning market as the best new vendor. And this year in 2025, we are actually the best overall vendor by the BPM partners for EPM use cases. But today I'm here to talk about PowerTable, which is completely a brand new use case to do your table apps. Your what I call, it's a very, very large market, something that Microsoft Access used to do, basically, where Excel took care of a lot of your spreadsheet use cases, but Access took care of, you can create a small tables and create forms and views and do a lot of them. But Microsoft really took Excel Access into a cloud version. Now, guess what happened? SmartSheet and Airtable and a lot of these cloud products or the SaaS products took it. But fundamentally, the investment in semantic models are not leveraged by those products. And there are a lot of gaps in the market that are not met within the Microsoft ecosystem. And that is what we are trying to do. And just as a teaser, Lumal has a strategic partnership with Microsoft to bring planning and EPM into Microsoft Fabric ecosystem. And I will be touching a bit on that today. But in principle, in principle, the reason why the market itself is shifting, that's the most important thing, is everybody talks about AI these days. AI, everything is kind of, but everybody misses that. Is your data even ready for AI? So everybody wants to get, do AI projects, jump to that, but your foundation, data foundation, is it AI ready? And I think Gartner keeps reiterating that the next 2 to 3 years will be a lot of projects on making sure your data is AI ready. And Power Table is a big part of that. So our vision is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter you are using Databricks, you are using Snowflake. Fabric itself is an open data platform. They don't enforce you to say use only Fabric Warehouse or Fabric Lakehouse. I mean, you can use it for use cases where it fits, but in principle, the customers have invested in the Power BI semantic model. More than 95% of the companies have done that. And over 360,000 organizations have invested in Power BI semantic model. which means they have set up their data pipelines, they have cleansed their data, they have already done that. But what is a huge gap in the Microsoft ecosystem is that there is no planning offering, the ability to add budgets, forecast with the actuals that you have already invested in, create scenarios, and then save it back to your data platform. And the same concept, the extension is what if I want to do my master data, reference data, my table applications, or my even transactional agentic application? That's where PowerTable comes into the picture. The Lumel EPM integrates everything into a single with the Lumel BI offering, which I will be touching on to that. But I want to touch on before Arthur, you have any question, I want to introduce everybody to Fabric workloads. Do you have any questions about Fabric workloads? Because the market really doesn't really are up to speed on Fabric. What is a Fabric workload? Everybody is familiar with the Power BI visual, but there is a
Mm.
massive transition that is happening to bring what is called as uh, Fabric workloads. So, Michael, you have any questions, any curiosity? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah, yeah.
familiar?
So the thing is, I'm working a lot with Power BI. I'm working a lot with a little bit with Fabric data. So all the stuff is I worked with it, but I did not work with Fabric partner workloads. So for me, it's new, and I haven't seen any real workloads out in wild. So maybe you can say what is a workload about and what I can expect from this kind of workload. So
Got it. So this is a pretty much everybody is familiar with the Power BI SDK, the Power BI custom visual. So if you look at Lumel's journey, the last 14 years of our company existence, the first 7 years we were an add-on to SAP Business Objects, basically a BI platform add-on. We were an add-on as a Power BI visual to a Power BI add-on, which means we are a BI tool add-on. The biggest downside of it is that you inherit the strength of the BI tool and then you also inherit the weakness of the BI tool. So it's people always think, oh, it's an add-on. I have to buy Power BI first and then buy the InfoRiver. So there is always this conflict, right? And we always sometimes I say, hey, I want to do this, but we will say, hey, it's a limitation of Power BI. But the market has moved to data platform. The data platform is where I have one central place where I want to bring all my data. And if you really think about it, Microsoft wanted to consolidate all their use cases. You know, they had Power BI, they had databases, they had real-time intelligence, and then they had their data factory, which is your ETL related tool, and they introduced real-time intelligence. So think of them as each of them as a kind of a use case or a workload by itself. But what happens? Microsoft doesn't offer a planning solution. Microsoft doesn't offer an MDM solution. How do they enable partners and ISVs to bring them and then treat them on par with their own native workloads? Not feel like a stepchildren or kind of the feeling, but treat them on par, right? So you can leverage the core platform strength, which is Copilot, the one lake for storage, and the one lake security. So you inherit those. So the customer gets a seamless experience. So if you look at all the partner workloads, Microsoft has learned from all of the weaknesses of Power BI custom visuals. They have addressed them. So you get an unified experience. So let's say you use a Lumel workload, and then you go and use, let's say, processes workload. They have put in the UX guidelines, which means everything is going to look and feel the same way. It's not like every visual is looks and feels the same differently. So they have given shared experiences. The concept of workspaces that you are used to in Power BI, they have kind of extended it. Unified administration, unified governance, security, use the same concept of capacity, everything. So Microsoft gives you a pretty well governed shell On top of partner brings a workload. And guess what? To the customer, instead of going and buying a siloed planning product like Anaplan or OneStream or Tagetic, they create more data silos. Instead, imagine if everything, those use cases are natively provided, because you are spending money to buy Anaplan, right? But then you end up storing your budget and forecast somewhere else. But imagine if they are within the Fabric ecosystem alongside with your Power BI Actual, the time to market, you don't create data silos. Look at the business benefits. You not just save money, but you are looking at the time to market. And then your data is now more ready for agentic AI.
Okay, basically, to summarize it, for me, a workload will be in future like a plug and play system. So I got my laptop and I buy a game and I immediately can play the game on my laptop. And Fabric is
Exactly.
now my laptop and I can play the planning game because I can plug in the planning game, and now my Fabric is planning ready.
Correct. So
Perfect.
when I do it, so you're going to see the getting started experience. Within 5 minutes, you are up and running. That's the
Okay.
beauty of it. Now, the big change, if you really think about it, the big change from Power BI is in Fabric, you will see a larger ISVs. You will see an Informatica, you will see a Prophecy, you will see a Neo4j. So you will see more bigger ISVs coming and adopting Fabric compared to in Power BI Visual, where small mom and pop shop companies were basically building custom visuals. Now the game is much, much bigger because now you are talking much bigger use cases,
Yeah.
basically. So this is the future of how to deliver partner ISV solution. That's where Microsoft is investing heavily. And obviously, Snowflake came first with Snowflake native apps, and the native apps are the future. Why the native apps are the future is, again, coming back to delivering everything by leveraging the Power BI semantic model and saving it back to where your data sits. So put all the data in one unified layer so you can use them in an integrated manner. So if I really compare it to the Power BI, because we obviously have a Power BI roots, we had a editable visual, which is basically the precursor to the PowerTable. We were able to do the master data, reference data use cases for CRUD maintenance as a Power BI visual. But we learned a lot from the customers that they saw a lot of potential with the editable product, but we couldn't really extend it. You are going to see the Power Table where we are able to extend Power Table to be able to give you a much, much superior user experience in terms of full screen. So you're going to see it's not like it feels like a kind of not a native experience. This one has no limitations. You're going to see we are not going to say, hey, we are limited to 30,000 rows. We can even manage a billion row table if you wanted to. I will show. Again, like I said, you don't need Power BI licenses. There is no dependency on Power BI licenses. You just need a Fabric capacity. So if a customer says, I don't have Fabric, no problem. If you have Power BI Premium or get a Fabric capacity, Fabric capacity F2 is just like, I think, $250 a month or something like that. It's much more affordable compared to Power BI Premium. You can get started if you want to do planning on top of Power BI. Semantic model, that's the right word. It's a much easier. Now, the big difference is there is no desktop. It's all full web. That's a big difference. No Power BI desktop, nothing. No, it's a full web user experience, basically. So a Mac user gets full capability also. This is a kind of a big difference to a Power BI visual versus the Fabric. Because of that, with PowerTable, we are able to bring a lot of use cases. One of them, like I touched on, is we will be bringing in project and collaborative work management use cases, you will see how easy it is compared to Power Apps or any custom applications, how easy it is to build an apps, which I will be demonstrating to you today. You can see the possibilities are tremendous. So for customers that are used to the Power BI, our architecture is very similar. The backend is the same. We use container services in Azure. Again, we support all of the major data platforms to Writeback, but most importantly, we support Fabric SQL, which is more designed for write optimized OLTP use cases. One of the things that you will keep seeing is that we are starting to differentiate between writing to a warehouse versus writing to a Fabric SQL, because when you are doing a write back, you want to write to a write optimized store because you get a much better performance, obviously, because Fabric SQL is write optimized, whereas warehouse is read optimized. Obviously, for small table, you can write to a warehouse integrated to semantic model, you can do. So you will have to do it on a case by case basis when to use what. But in principle, the whole PowerTable uses push down SQL. So a huge improvement in performance and scalability. So you will see you can build no code applications, you can leverage your existing semantic model, you can take your legacy tabular applications, you can do. So the way you will use it at scale is tremendous. I kind of want to pause and I'm going to jump right into the demos, but I just wanted to see what is your, before I kind of go introduce the workload and everything, what is your thoughts?
Yeah, I've already used PowerTable, so it's indeed it's that easy. So just like a normal Fabric object, you create the new table, and then you can connect really a table from your semantic model. And this was kind of cool because the semantic model, it could be some self-service model that someone have built. I actually use it for projects, like when I have projects in my model and want to correct like the daily rate or the end date of a project, then it's very easy. It's like I'm going into Power BI and have an Excel inside of Power BI and can change my data and write back. Of course, the model you need to consider it in a data model, etc. And it's not that easy for more complex scenarios, but it's very good for like data management at this level.
So let us go right into the demos, but I will start with the table management use case, basically, because there is so much you can do. But the most important thing is you can have pretty much an massive scale. Like, in Excel, you can hardly struggle. Once you cross 100,000 rows, you start to struggle. Here, you can actually, and then everything gets stored in a database. That's the huge, big value proposition. When I really step back and look at our vision, like where we are headed, we have a large team working on it. And our vision is, the way I look at it is PowerTable is a hybrid of Excel and Access, basically. Okay. It's a hybrid of, you can do Excel-like things, you can do Access-like things. It's a hybrid at scale with governance and workflow and everything.
I have to smile because I said something in a webinar or in a stream way earlier, and my saying was Fabric is Excel thought to the end. So and this is fitting in because what people are liking Excel combined to Power BI or Fabric, that you are easy to write something in and everything is changing based on your input, and the ease of data entry, the ease of data collection. And this is, I guess, can bring Fabric, if you have the right governance and the right choices, on the next level, because it enables the departments, enables controlling finance to easy simulate something, to easy play around in bigger scenarios with bigger data without the hustle of, oh, I copy paste this Excel, I copy paste this one. Yeah. So you fill my vision, I would say.
Absolutely. So the reason I put up this slide is there are three different broad type of customers. Okay, there are three different types of customers. One type of customer is they live in Excel, they live in Access. Everything is manual. Basically, you have no investment in technology for a variety of reasons. And for those customers, it's very easy to transition. Today, you have a lot of manual process. I want to make a giant leap. I want to digitize everything, modernize everything, transform. The good place to start is PowerTable and Fabric. Okay, that's one set of customers. The second set of customers is we invested in technology 10, 20 years back. Everything is on-prem. I have my SharePoint list. I tried to do it, but I never caught up with cloud and SaaS and everything. They could make a giant leap and come to the PowerTable and migrate their SharePoint lists and a lot of the processes because they are not really modern, they are not collaborative, they are not truly integrated to your teams and other things. Now just make one giant leap. The third set of customers is they keep investing in technology. So they bought Airtable, they bought SmartSheet, they bought all these cloud SaaS software. But the problem is they are suddenly realizing they have silos everywhere, data silos everywhere, because my critical project information is sitting in Airtable. My critical, let's say, employee information is sitting in SmartSheet. Now I have to do an ETL to bring all of them. So you invested in a lot of cloud SaaS software, but you have now more data silos. Now you have to put them together and manage them. And then everything has its own security. So even though you are a company that has heavily invested in technology, you invested in what I call it as a prior generation software that was actually now hurting your AI journey or your AI readiness. So now all those companies also want to retire that. So it doesn't matter where you are, how much of investment, you are better off coming to the kind of the PowerTable vision or the native apps vision on top of Fabric to consolidate everything. That's the principal vision of why you should do it. Okay. You have significant time saving. You're going to see how I'm doing everything in like few minutes. It's not like you hire a big IT team. It's not a huge change management. Feels like you are managing everything with scale, governance, and thing. So I'm going to go right into the demos, but I just wanted to tell you, give it a try. That's the simplest stuff I will start with. So let us go into my browser. I'm going into my Power BI. Let's just start with Power BI. So this is why, even though it is Fabric workload, it uses Power BI workspaces. Okay. I'm here in, how many of you know about workloads? Now, obviously, you can click workloads here, or you can click the three dots, and then you could click the workloads here. If it is not there, you would click the three dots and see the workloads. So when you see the workloads, these are some, the workloads is something new, and the Lumel EPM is the workload that we are launching. Hey, you said you will demonstrate PowerTable, but why are you talking about Lumel EPM? Our vision is a single workload to bring planning, data management, and reporting and BI as a single workload. So a full integrated workload. And each of them are items. So Lumel PowerTable, which I will be demonstrating today, is an item for your data management and data apps, basically, which I will be doing. Hopefully, I will come back again next month to give you a full overview of the Lumel EPM with the planning, everything integrated. Maybe I will give a teaser at the end, but it is an item. Okay, so now how do I get started? I come here to my home page. I go to my Fabric workspace. So you need a Fabric workspace. That's basically how you would principally, and then you would create a new item. Okay, so when you create a new item, you will see Lumel PowerTable is a new item. So that's how you say it's like you are creating a brand new Power BI report, but now you are creating a new PowerTable item. For all the audience, PowerTable is GA. while the EPM is in preview. So customer in Europe, so we have two tenants, one in US, one in Europe for the GDPR. So you can buy PowerTable today. It's generally available and you can start using them. The reason is you're going to see the value in few minutes. So I'm going to create a PowerTable item. So just similar to the Power BI report creation, I'm going to basically say PowerTable live stream demo one. I'm creating an item. I'm creating. So you then get to a launch screen. Now, it should be very similar, and you will see you get to the launch experience. Now, obviously, you can explore PowerTable. One of the experiences, it deploys some template apps so you can play with it very, very quickly. You can do the employee management or the adventure works. We have a new template coming in called asset management as well. We plan to add more templates so that you can actually see the power of it. But I wanted to actually show you how to create a brand new app very, very quickly. The first concept is I want to create a new connection. Like I said, we are an open platform. We support whatever is your data platform. So the important thing is, let's say I'm a Databricks customer, I'm a Snowflake customer. You are free to use them. Any questions here? You can create a connection and then you can use them. Okay.
No, only the Olivier said, yeah, database disguised as a spreadsheet. I think that's every planning application has a little bit of this character, because even with the Translytical and Fabric, you have like some kind of native writeback, but
But
many
it's all
people,
code.
especially, people desire this table view for planning, for like some bigger data input. So, and this is this out of the box, but I will not spoil too much. You will
Yeah.
show us very soon.
Yeah. So basically, I think I'll, yeah. So creating a new connection is pretty straightforward. You will come here, you could use my credentials and you can actually select a database and you can, I'm going to create another like GK Fabric SQL. I'm just creating a live stream. One more connection just to show people how easy it is to create a connection, right? So I've created a brand new connection, means the connection to Fabric SQL is experienced. Okay, so I probably will use an existing connection. Create a new app. I will use an existing connection. And I will create a brand new table. Okay, so this is one. You can manage an existing table or create a new table. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to show you is there are three options when you create a brand new table. One, obviously, you can connect to a semantic model and basically extract the data and create a brand new table, which I will touch on it. But the most common one I told you is most customers have a manual process, basically. So think of it as to a step to retire your existing legacy stuff, right? So I want to create a power table, let's say a products demo, uh, uh, just July 16th A. I'm creating a brand new products master, which is currently managed in an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to create it, and it reads from the Excel file. And then here, the main key thing is you want to put the right key field. Now, if you say identity column, it will auto increment, or you will basically, you will when you create a new row, it is basically. But you have now created a table in Fabric SQL, and that's it. So you will see, again, I'm just trying to show the ease of use of creating a table. So a lot of customers like to use it as a, you don't need an IT data engineer to bring those Excel CSV file. into a database, managed database. So think of the user experience. That's it. It's done. It's now in Fabric SQL.
Now I have questions.
Yes, that's why we are doing this live. Yes.
Look really cool. And I know a lot of use cases where you just want exactly doing this. And where the department says, wow, I want to do this. And now the IT guy comes and says, yeah, wait, this is a slowly changing dimension. So if something changing and we build something on, can we make an audit to say what were the changes on one entry? Because we are changing master data, and maybe I want to see how the name has changed over time.
Let's do that. Okay. Let us actually go. I will, since you touched on it, this has very, very robust security. You can put in who can change the row, who can do all that. At a column level, you can have permissions. Much more advanced permissions compared to even RLS. You can have at a column level, row level, you can have that. But what I want to do is, I want to show you how I can actually put some little bit of governance here. I don't want people to enter random list of values. So you say distinct values for brand and color. And I want to do this. Okay. The reason I did that, those two, I wanted to show you there is a reason. Look how nice it is. Since you touched on audit, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to change the color of this to Azure. I'm going to change the unit price to $15. Okay. And I'm going to save it. Now it has saved into the database live. This one is live right back onto that particular table. Okay.
And
now,
you can even put in new rows, right? That was also something I was missing, and even in the Writeback.
I'm going to come to that, but
okay.
Since Master Michael was questioning the audit, I'm going to do the history. Exactly, full audit. Who changed what and when.
And this is also saved in the database. So if someone later says, okay, it's nice it's in the table, but I have like an application for 1,000 people who writing in something, and you can't do it like this. You want to see all the changes by one, so you can access the data in the database, or where is it saved?
Yeah. It's actually saved in the audit database, but I'm going to do more changes. So I'm going to do more changes. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason is this is now Excel like bulk change. That's why I'm showing you this. Like I did a copy and paste, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to save it. I tell you why I did that change, right? The beauty is compared to a Power Apps or other change, it's not like one record change at a time. You can do bulk insert. So think about insert row. I can do a bulk insert and create new records, right? So that's where this is a game changer. Think about Translytical and all. It's like one change at a time, more code and everything. This is completely no code. Okay. Now when I hit audit, watch what happens. Okay. Now, most companies love it already, right? But what happens in big companies is they want to all of this feature, but they want to control. You make all the updates, but I will decide, I will review it, I will then approve it before it gets saved. This is where it gets very, very enterprise grade. So now you see the approvals, manage approvals. I want approval. Now I want you to notice this has very comprehensive approval workflow. Okay. You can do specific user. I'm going to put myself as an approver to show you what happens, right? I can even have a second approver. I can have a Teams channel. Okay. I can also do a rule-based approval. Rule-based approval means this cost center, this person is the approver. This cost center, this person is the approver. Or I can have a lookup table. This material goes to this person, this material goes to this person. So you could actually have a lookup table where it will look up the rules, who should be the approver. So you can have some of them. You can also have multi-level approval. Multi-level approval is my manager has to approve, then my manager's manager has to approve. We could actually do that. This we can do this with zero code, zero implementation time. We are talking literally like in minutes, right? I will do it and then I have saved it.
From the technical perspective, but from the organizational perspective, it's maybe different.
Yeah. So I'm gonna basically come back here. I'm gonna make a change here to Azure. I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. I'm going to change this also to $15. Let me do one more change, $16 here. Now I have to submit it for review. I can't save it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I submit it for review, because I put myself as an approver for the live stream so I can actually demo, you come here. Because I had more than one change, I have to look at it individually.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can approve one at a time or approve everything or approve one and reject one. That's the other beauty, partial approval.
Yeah.
You can see it very clearly. Or you can request, send it back for changes. I don't like the price, go back and change it.
Yeah. And if you saved it and approved it and you save it back to your database, you can also bring in some rules that it says, okay, always bring a new valid data set in, but keep the old one. So that you don't overwrite in the SQL database, for example, that you always say, okay, we just appending and always have a valid data set and get all the old stuff stored, like the good old DBH logic.
Yeah, I will come to that. So when I create a table, it's called SCD, slowly changing dimensions. You want to keep capturing it. But that's but again, ideally, if you want to do that, you can do that. But you get the concept of the approval workflow.
Yes, sure. I would say this, what I'm saying now, it's the end user don't care about this. The end user just want to change, but the IT guy and the audit guy and some of the more focused guys say, okay, yeah, maybe we do a mistake and now we want to see, or we want to roll back in our database, or we want to make a simulation. What is our revenue with old prices versus new prices? I have seen all this stuff, and therefore I'm asking about the slowly changing dimensions. And also, Germans tend to make everything over complex. We like to over engineering, even if we don't need it, but it's good to have it.
You want me to talk about SAP?
No,
Everything is over engineered.
I don't want to. No.
Yeah, but you you get an idea. So in the essence of that time, I want to show more advanced use cases. Okay. So I have few things that I have done, and then hopefully I want to kind of the whole idea is to everybody to see the ease of use and go ahead and try the product. So I want to, you can have conditional formatting. You can actually, I touched on the insert row. I'm going to talk about some of the other advanced stuff right now. Okay. Now, one of the things that I wanted to show you in the layout, this is how this table looked like. Okay. So if you really think about it, I have my org management. So think of this as a use case demo. People typically have employees and who is their manager, everything here, right? But what really happens is, let's say I have 100,000 employees, large company, I have it. But people don't look at it like this. People typically look at it like in a hierarchy where these are the people that report to Stanley. Stanley has 3,400 people reporting to him. Get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we are supporting what I call as the kind of a lookup, and then we are presenting to you with a row hierarchy.
Here
Okay.
I have also a question because it was really posted by a client. Can you have subtotals here? Are these numbers? They are just numbers of this line, right? Because
Yes,
Charles is like
yes. I will.
the boss of Christopher and co. But can you also have like in the matrix subtotals,
Yes.
like when you're planning
Yeah.
for checkups?
Yeah. So we are. I'm trying to figure out if I can click on the three dots here and
Hmm.
see the insights, basically. Again,
Okay,
I think
that's it.
you can again. I don't know if it was the right stuff, but you could actually see if it would work. But again, I probably didn't pick the right one, but we are
Mhm.
working on. You see the sum. Once I did that, it could
Yeah.
actually do the insights. This is where you can try and give us feedback, but we
Yeah.
are trying to bring column level subtotals, and we
Mm.
are because some are dimensions, some are like, for example, here you would do things like, is it empty, is it unique, and things like that. So we are kind of listening to the customers and improving. But I want to show you the real value of the product, right? Let's say I want to add an employee, new employee, because one of the things that Arthur asked me is, let's say I come here, I want to insert a child row inside Charles, basically. Okay, I can insert a child row, right? And I'm going to put myself working here. You know, my favorite job is to be in an engineering, and I want to be a, I don't know, I mean, I'm happy to tell you, I like to be a software engineer. That's if you give me a chance, I like Chennai, and I have been working for 25 years, and I'm just going to basically say, let's just put today's date. So I have inserted a row here. Okay.
Mhm.
But you have put it in the right place in the table. That's the beauty of it, and how
Yeah.
easy it is to do it. Now I'm going to save it. It's done.
Yeah, and there are rules you have shown us, so you don't can't if it's not made for this, like to have a duplicate primary key or something. Of course, you have to take care in your semantic model, but this is you can prevent it from happen with all
Yeah.
the
So,
constraints you have in place. You already have shown.
I showed you the search now. See? So I just showed you the search, how the search
Fantastic.
would work, right? Now I can actually move myself from one. I don't like the manager they gave me. I'm going to move to I'm going to move myself to, you know what? I will move myself to Joseph, and I can actually now move. So this is your whole use case of workforce management, basically. Okay.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
So now again, I have 100,000 records. It's basically, it will go, kind of move it basically. Okay. Uh, Again, bear with us because I'm doing it in a dev environment. So, just to give you an idea, so maybe I probably should have, but while that is running, it should probably finish in a second. I want to show you the next use case in the essence of time. This should finish, or I probably did something crazy. Let us just show you the next use case, basically. Okay. So the next use case is master detail. Okay. Master detail is I have two tables. I have a product category table, right? And then I have my products table. Okay.
Mhm.
Then what really happens is it's a bit harder to manage. I have 10,000 rows, but I want them to be grouped by a category. Okay. So the one way to look at it is I can come here and do a group by and then say, give me group it by category. How easy it is to do the group by. And then I can see this here. This is one method of doing it. And then it will, by the way, it will go fetch it at runtime. The only thing that I can think of is I have something probably I will have to close this one just to be, I don't know if I basically jammed the capacity. This is one of the challenges is the Fabric capacity. We also have a kind of the stuff we don't have a you have to manage it carefully. So
Yeah, I know this from Translytical and Copilot too.
yeah,
And then in the meantime, there is a question from Vlad, who
okay,
asked if a record has children. Yes,
yes.
as you have shown, can they be viewed in a separate pop-up
And
table?
that's exactly this demo. I was trying to show
Okay,
you
fantastic.
I was trying to show you the group by first. Basically, try to do that.
Mhm.
It should come. You see how it came fast. I think that one had kind of so you can do that. But what Vlad is asking is the feature that I was trying to show is that we now have the ability to actually, when I do the columns, you see the related products we have it, you can configure. So the category table and the products table are linked basically. So once you establish the link, okay, then it's called a relation column. So one of the column type we have, it's called a relation column. When I come back here, and now I can actually go within to the products table. So I think this is exactly what Vlad is asking. Now,
Yes.
our vision is basically to give you the in-place edits right now. So that's what we are working on in our roadmap. So you will be able to kind of edit right here, right now. The advantage of this is you will be able to insert child records here, both brand new category and a brand new product right here, versus having two different tables to kind of switch back and forth. That's kind of the vision. And that would be the difference between using the group by versus the parent master detail, the concept. Okay. Any questions on these two use cases? Now let's go into a little bit more use cases. One of the things a lot of customers kept asking us is column types, something that we did not have in the first version of PowerTable, but we have been listening to the customers just and adding. So we added, you see how it is formatted by currency, the phone numbers, the ratings, the stuff. We even added a button. So basically, if you see this here, so you can have a button type. And we are working on basically trying to bring automation right here. So you will be able to do the different column types, and you will be able to do so the ratings and so things like that. So you can see we are continuously learning from customers and type the column types. We are bringing in a lot of different column types.
How is the ratings saved in the background? It's a number or as a picture?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer. I will have to get back to you. But I would say, please try it, and you please let us know.
I will
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I
So that's
see.
probably the right one. But the main thing is the product gets a massive investment and it is continuously getting better and better every week, basically. And today, a lot of customers, like this is probably the easiest product we have actually built in terms of getting started and very fast time to value. Okay. Let me go to the last, or at least
Yeah, we have a
the
few
main question.
minutes left. Already amazing stuff you have
Yeah, so
shown.
I didn't touch on, I want to go from a single kind of to more complex use cases. I touched on automations and forms. So we also have automation and forms. Okay. So if you think about it, so we have products table, we have customer table, and you can link them all. Okay. You can link them all. That's where the app building use cases come in. I have orders table. I have order status log, I have inventory log. Okay, so I have my orders table. And if you notice here, I have forms established basically. So I can set up a form where people will be inserting kind of like in a form-based input experience, right? So I can have a preview. You see, I can have a form, I can hit submit. Now, the beauty of this is I want to show you live, okay? let us do a form. I'm going to actually have the form up. I'm actually going to go buy a place order for a brand new stuff. You know what? I need a uh, new watch. I'm going to do that. You know what? I will buy only one watch and I'm going to go to the store and pick it up. I will pay by card. I'm placing a brand new order, right? I'm hitting submit. Okay, so this is a form-based user experience. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to talk about automation. Now in the orders table, I have 36, but where is my watch? Typically, you have to do a sync or a refresh because either you have to do a page refresh or you have to do that. Guess what? It landed in the table. Okay.
Nice.
Now I want to I want to talk about automation. I have set up automation. When automation is nothing but when a form is submitted, I want you to go and create it in the order status table. Go and create an entry in another table. So people who are basically have to take an action for the orders placed to do that, they can actually do that. So you see that all of these are created. I have two forms set up. Basically, when there is something updated, created and updated, I could actually do. Okay. Hopefully, I can actually show you the email integration. You can see I got an email as soon as an order was placed. Okay. So even the email integration is working. So this is something I wanted to show you. And just to give you an idea, if I come to the order status log, it's only 36, but I have to hit sync once again, or either do a page refresh, one of the two. And you will see in the second page, the 37. So this is where the automation takes it and then comes up and comes here. And we are working on more enhancements. We are working on more enhancements where you could even decrement the inventory quantity, basically condition automation loop, where it looks at, okay, somebody, it got delivered, so our inventory has to go down by one. So we are working on more advanced capabilities. So think of this as basically, let's say you place an order, subtract it one because it has been shipped, which means our inventory has to go down, or if it returns, it has to do that. So this is how using automation and forms, you can actually build no code application. So what I would request everybody is to think about any other custom app building, any other, think about, we are less than an hour, look at all the things that we are able to show.
Yeah, and it's very easy to use. I think this is also one USP, that it's actually generally available, and you can. It's like Excel, right? You can use it just as a plain table to change some data, but you also can have some workflows, some even complex workflows. So just it adjusts to the need
Yeah,
of the users. And this is something I really like, because many planning applications come with very complex setup. You have to do a lot of stuff before you actually can doing
yeah,
something with data, and this is something different.
yeah. So the most important thing I wanted to share with you is, as part of the Fabric workloads, Microsoft plans to give us Copilot access. So it will be
Yeah,
coming.
Someone
this
asked
is
it
a
already.
question. Yeah, the
Exactly.
question of Vlad is already there, so it's
So
already answered.
that is the vision of the Fabric workloads, is that all the workloads will have access, native access to Copilot, OneLake, and OneLake security. Right now, the OneLake APIs are available. I didn't touch on that. I will touch on that here. Right? When I see the import, you see the OneDrive and OneLake integration already there to ingest spreadsheets, and we are going to bring this SharePoint ingestion as well. Okay.
Nice. Okay,
Okay.
so
So
then maybe we have
I
one more question, or if anyone has. So if not, I'm quite
I have
overwhelmed.
one last thing to show to
Yeah,
everybody. Just bear with me. This is the teaser for
Mhm.
everybody to come and see the the thing, the possibility is I encourage everybody to try the Power Table, but I want you to give you a teaser of Lumel EPM, basically.
Will you show it at FabCon in Vienna?
Yes,
Oh,
it will be live and GA by the time Power Table is GA. So I want you to try.
we will
I
be
want
there.
you all to I want you to see
Yeah.
this is Lumel
Wow.
EPM with when I go into the editing view, see everything is integrated. This is our planning sheet. This is our reporting matrix, our premium table, our super filter, all the charts, everything, Power Table, everything is integrated. What is the benefit of the integration? You're going to see it. I am going to change. Now we are missed the plan. So everything is red. For the purposes of the live stream, I'm going to say our plan was only $500 million. What it does is that with zero ETL, everything is green now. Our charts, our components talk to each other.
Yeah.
So everything is integrated. You go change a dimension, everything. You go all our everything talks to each other. That is the vision of Lumel EPM. Everything is integrated, connected, InfoBridge, everything. So you are talking real time, live, no ETL, physical.
Yeah, so very great strategy, and I think this will need more than one more extra session to show this great product where all parts of InfoRiver and Lumel like fit together. Thanks a lot, and sorry for
More or
being
less, this
short
is
on
then
time.
the full planning experience from Microsoft.
Yeah,
For the Microsoft ecosystem, not just the Microsoft ecosystem, we think this will be the basically we will be able to support every possible planning use cases, every possible planning method, and everything is integrated in a self-service manner. We talk about self-service BI, we are talking about self-service planning. We are also bringing editable Gantt. Basically, it's coming later
Oh
this
yeah.
month as part of Power Table. You can
nice.
actually have a Gantt that can be edited for project and work management. You can take a Power Table data that is tabular and take it into a cross-tab kind of a step to do time entry and all, time sheet entry and all
Oh.
of that. That is also coming.
Yeah,
Okay, because this was something I was thinking about. A lot of people starting with tables and the months or the years on the top, and here you have some entries, and then they're starting doing something. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Gopal. And yeah, I already tested it. I will definitely test it more. I learned a lot about the Power Table, and yeah, the Outlook is also more than great. And thanks to everyone for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, even Ravin and Olivier and Vlad and all the others. I see you that you're just silent, but
Thank you.
there are more people watching. Yeah, thanks a lot, and see you again. Hit the subscribe button, and
Thank
thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.